September 19th at the Green Bay Distillery, right before the Green Bay Packers take on the Detroit Lions for the home opener. Game On Wisconsin is throwing Todd Varney a birthday party. Okay, not really. It's just an ironic coincidence, but we will be throwing a party at the Green Bay Distillery. Food, football, drinks, prizes, all kinds of stuff you can win. You want to check out our YouTube page, our Twitter page, and our other social media page, Game On Wisconsin, for details. Meet us at the Green Bay Distillery on September 19th. Come meet and greet all of your favorite Game On Wisconsin personalities and have a chance to win some really cool stuff. We hope to see you there.
Big Balls Bob. Not to be confused with Tiny Balls Todd.
I do have a body. It's very fantastic. More of a temple, really, than a body.
I can't tell if he's doing a bit or not.
I'm glad you brought that point up because
Todd's a pussy.
We got to start putting our guests on at like 8 so that people actually watch the rest of the show.
Dan talks about killing babies. Todd and I talk about making babies. There's a big difference. It's right next to Todd's OnlyFans. I'm a below average teacher. I'm a dumbass, and I'm sorry.
The first time you've been let out of mom's basement, right?
Oh, no, I'm still in mom's basement, actually.
I hate you guys so much.
I'm going to throw these two guys into the screen so that if I die, they can carry on the legacy of crap that is this show. And I'll take with me these memories to be the sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Boyz II Men gave us those classic words to live by, and today we hold them near and dear to our hearts as we say goodbye to the 2021 season that would have been the ultimate for Devin Funchess hitting the IR today. As the vice president of the Devin Funchess hype train, I want to say that I offer my condolences to the rest of the passengers on the train, any conductors, engineers, the president himself. Devin Funchess, near and dear to our hearts. Wish you could have played with us this year. We're hit with the injury bug early on in the preseason for the Packers. So let's get our drink special of the week. It fits right into what we were looking for, or what we're talking about. The injury bug is our drink special for the day. What is the injury bug? It's very simple. It's just a simple shot of Jägermeister, which I feel is just the most medicinal of all liquors. And the fun part about the injury bug is that it's served in a collectible shot glass that the bartender throws square at your head so that you end up on the IR yourself after you have the injury bug. Let's bring in these two guys here who have not hit the IR yet. It's Todd Varney and Jimmy Christensen. Guys, how are you doing? Are you coping with the loss of the potential Devin Funchess breakout season like I am?
That sucked. I was so bummed for him. 2019 injury week 1, out for the year. Opts out because of COVID last year. Had real reasons for it this year. Had strong first preseason game, gets hurt. Haven't seen him since, and then now he's out the whole season. I feel for the guy.
Yeah. I was having a rough time with it until whatever the hell that was in the intro that you did. And now I was looking something up. I forgot what it was because I was just sitting here yelling the whole time. What the hell is going on? Again, the worst, most just like anxiety-driven 2 minutes of my week is Dan doing a cold open by himself.
It's Boyz II Men.
I had no idea where it was going either. I was really confused, but I was like, well, fuck it. Let's just roll with it.
That's classic Boyz II Men.
I'm aware of the Boyz II Men. It seemed a little much. It was a little much. That's all.
Pour one out. Pour one out for the homie, man.
Right
I was really bummed when that came across. I was all on the Devin Funchess hype train this year, as I've said. I expected huge things out of him, and I really, honestly, for him, it was more for him. I wanted him to come back and shut up all of the people that were giving him crap last year for sitting out due to COVID and everything. I wanted him to come back, and I wanted him to just have a ball out season, and get back in the swing of things. It obviously meant a lot to him, and yeah, it really sucks. I mean, it's been a hell of a week in terms of roster moves and IR and everything, man. It's been a wild week for the Packers.
Yeah. Our special teams and we're going to hit on it later, but our special teams losing Will Redmond. Our defense didn't lose him, just special teams lost him.
Yeah, right.
Right. It was fucking
shout out Bobby Miller first.
Shout out.
Yeah, man, it's been wild. We got a lot to talk about. Let's just jump right into our buy around, pay the tab. Let's start with buy around. Guys, who are we buying around for? Jimmy, go ahead and start us off.
Yeah, I'm sticking it sucks. He's going to have a chance now to step up because of Funchess, but I'm going with Malik Taylor. He had a really good preseason game against the Jets. He had that great catch down the sideline that ended up turning into the Packers touchdown, their second one. So I don't know. He made the roster last year. He was kind of the surprise guy. This year as well, I didn't think he was going to make the roster. I assumed him and EQ were going to be out. He's a player that will play special teams, does kind of the dirty work, did some jet sweep for us last year. So Malik Taylor looked like he earned himself a spot now.
Yeah, next man up.
Do you think that the Funchess injury does anything for EQ?
I don't think so. I think at this point too, it's like you might as well just roll with Malik Taylor. I don't see EQ doing much for special teams. Like I feel like if he tackles someone, he's going to end up breaking a couple bones,
which is standard for him.
I mean, if anything, it gives EQ like a little bit more of a shot.
Yeah,
but maybe from like 10% to 20% kind of a thing. It's not anything that I think drastically affects him. There's so many other guys in here like Malik Taylor, guys that are competing and actually can stick around and stay healthy. Other than EQ.
Yeah, I honestly at this point also wouldn't be surprised if we just keep 5 receivers then. Like I thought that last spot would just be for Funchess, but since he's out, maybe they
save it for a tight end.
Yeah, honestly, Rodgers mentioned that LaFleur would probably want to keep 4 or 5, especially with special teams. So I don't know. It's going to be tricky. I could really see them now. Before I was like 100% confident they were keeping 6, but I really don't know now. I think it could just be 5.
Yeah, it opens up a lot of different roster opportunities. Todd, who are you buying around for?
I'm going to go with 2021 NFC Pro Bowl cornerback Kevin King, as I have been on that hype train most of the offseason and just continuing to roll down the tracks here with it. His press conference this week, guys, I think he said all of the right things. It's the first time we've heard from him since that abysmal game that he had in the NFC Championship game. And he said all the right things. And I think, the reasons that he wanted to stay, he wanted to be here. He wanted to finish what he started with this team. And he doesn't want to leave here with that being his legacy in his last game. I think he's got the right attitude, talking about working with Stokes and making sure that, like he said, he doesn't keep anything from him just because they're competing for the same job. Like he wants him to be just as good and know everything that there is. He mentioned, they brought in Josh Jackson and Jair the year after they drafted him. So he's used to there being competition and having guys around. Then I think it'll be, he's just got a really good attitude. It sounds like about going into what could be a rough situation for him.
Yeah. I liked how too, he said like, he doesn't just push shit under the rug. Like all the stuff people have been saying, he's hearing it too, but he's not going to just brush shit under the rug or forget about it. He's going to that has to fuel you a little bit to kind of go into that Pro Bowl season that you've been calling this whole time.
And I think note too, I think LaFleur said it today too, is like kind of noting what Kevin King brings to this team other than just the play on the field. It's very clear that he's a really good locker room guy and that he's just a good presence to have in the locker room. I think that's huge, especially like you guys are saying with Stokes coming in, to have a veteran guy take up that mantle and sort of be like, not be bigger than the team, essentially. Know that Stokes is probably coming for your job, and you can handle that one of two ways. You can either be a snotty little diva about it, or you can kind of step up and just do what's best for the team. And Eric Stokes being a good player helps Kevin King and it helps the Green Bay Packers. So I'm really happy with what Kevin King was talking about today. It was a really good look for him. I'm gonna throw mine up real quick because I already mentioned it obviously in my cold open and everything. But pull one out again for Devin Funches, man. Super excited.
Pour that out on the floor. Make a mess.
No.
Why? Kelsey wouldn't care. Kelsey would
Splash
care.
it.
No, she would definitely care.
Do you have carpet?
No, it's hardwood.
Oh, well, then you could definitely dump it.
Yeah, just wipe it up after. Or either that or just like you got socks on, just dry it up with your sock, dude.
Oh, it's big talk for the people that don't have to live with the pregnant woman. That's great.
Producer Nick brings up a great point. You're in a bar, Dan.
Yeah.
What's a little beer on the floor in a bar?
Honestly, I'm surprised it took this long. But Nick, I hate to ruin the illusion, but I am not actually in a bar. This is all fake, Nick. I hate to like tell you that,
It's pretty messed up to say that in front of the people watching.
I hate to tell you that Santa Claus is dead, but
Are you?
But Devin Funches,
I'm in a
man.
bar. I thought for sure. I mean, we're in the same bar, aren't we?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, the same bar that looks a mirror image on either side. Yeah,
Yeah, they put them on both sides.
Yeah.
Everyone's need a
Yeah,
bartender.
I don't
on
know
each
about
side.
that. I'm in a bar.
no, respect Devin Funches. Hope to see you back again at some point, either with the Packers or just in general. Jesus.
Kumro's dead. That's the other person. He did catch a touchdown. He's still keeping his touchdown Jesus name from Mitch Trubisky out of all.
Well,
people.
yeah, I mean it's the preseason. Of course, Kumro's going to light it up. He'll be on the IR in a week and a half.
Yeah, from diving into the end zone.
If we see him back in Green Bay this year, then you know for sure that Aaron Rodgers is in control of this team. Because that's the only way that that's ever happening.
100%. Yeah, it'd be the dumbest thing in the world.
It'd be the worst thing in the world.
All right, and real quick,
Go ahead.
while we're talking that, we dog Rob Demoski quite a bit on this show. And he had a fantastic question last week.
Yeah,
with Rodgers,
he did.
asking him after Rodgers praised, was it like the 5th or 6th tight end Kafusi?
Yeah,
And he asked him how well he was going to do in Buffalo, just referencing the Kumaro situation and getting a Jesus Bob out of Aaron. That was fantastic. So I credit where credit's due. Rob killed that one.
Yeah, that cracked me up. Like you said, we give him a lot of crap, but that he deserved a little round of applause on that one.
Yeah.
A very little round of applause, Rob. Pay the tab, guys. Who needs to pay the tab, Todd?
I'm going to stick with tight ends here. I'm going to go Jay Sternberger. He's had a good first couple of games. There's been question of, is he on the roster bubble, especially with the suspension? Where's he, what's it going to look like for him moving forward? What kind of playing time? So he won't be taking up a spot on the 53 since he is suspended. So obviously he'll make it through there. But it'll be interesting to see when he comes back. It's going to take another, he's going to have a big week 3 here, and really show this team that he's improved and has taken that next step to get back in the good graces, I think.
Yeah. That game though, like it started with, he had that drop on the 3rd down from Banker. Like Banker timed it perfectly, threw it right as he was turning around, hit him in the body, had an arm on it and just completely dropped it. I obviously turned around with having a touchdown catch that game, but he's really going to have to, there is a world that he gets cut. We saw that with Kamal Martin. They don't care if they just drafted you or what round pick you are. Like if they don't think you're going to be serviceable to the team, you're out.
Yep.
Yeah. Pulling for Jay Sternberger, man. Friend of the show, friend of the site. Yeah. And like we were talking about, that the whole Devin Funches thing, it gives Sternberger a little bit more leeway to kind of to make some of those more mistakes and to get more comfortable in the offense. And I think if the option is between keeping like a Jay Sternberger versus like EQ, you go Jay Sternberger even with the 2-week suspension, right?
Yeah. I personally would. I feel like he has more upside.
Yeah.
Well, and that's not a decision they would have to make. It would be when his week 3, when his suspension's up and he's coming back,
right?
And they go to put him on the 53. Who do they get rid of at that point? And I think if EQ is still sitting around, unless he has some significant contribution in the first couple of weeks, he's gone.
Yeah.
But or there's enough guys on the team too that you can slide somebody else through to the practice squad at that point, and keep a guy like EQ around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having said that, I don't think EQ makes the team.
If he gets cut, do you think EQ would make the round to make it to the practice squad, or do you think another team would pick him up?
I don't know. And I don't know that they would put him on the practice squad. Like, I think if they cut him, they're just kind of saying like, we've seen what you have to offer and it's not going to work out here. Go join a different practice squad at that point. Like,
maybe the Lions will pick him up, let him play with his brother.
Maybe.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool for him though. Like, I don't know.
Honestly,
I feel like that's best case scenario. They don't have many receivers. Play with your brother. Chill out a bit. Hang out with Jamal.
Take another Packers, send off and rebuild the Packers here in Detroit. Real quick, shout out Fido from Milwaukee. Thanks for watching, bud. Jimmy, who are you, or who needs to pay the tab for you, sir?
Yeah, I'm going with Ty Summers and Oren Burke. Oren Burks. I'm going with both of them because
good pick.
Oh, thanks, man.
You bet.
Where's Paul Brettel right now? Good point, Jimmy. I'm picking that with Kamal Martin being out. Todd and I were texting it. It's just so weird that they decided to cut Kamal. We saw that they've let Ty Summer and Oren Burke develop after underwhelming seasons. Last year, Kamal was the commodity coming out of training camp, and then he had his meniscus injury. So for them to cut him, like now it's really on Oren Burks and Ty Summers to just be productive, whether that's coming in for Campbell and Barnes. Maybe one of them goes down with an injury, but they're going to have to make a huge impact on at least special teams. With Will Redmond being out, like it's their time to kind of step up and show they didn't make a mistake by letting Martin walk and keeping those guys there.
Yeah. We're gonna talk more about the whole middle linebacker position too, because the whole Kamal Martin thing really threw me, and I think a lot of us, for a loop. But yeah, once you saw Kamal Martin go, Ty Summers and Oren Burks, that I think the focus kind of comes on them a little bit to step. Well, the whole group as a whole. I mean, because you've got Campbell is there. That I feel like it's weird that probably arguably the biggest free agent signing the Packers had this offseason in Campbell.
Yeah.
Nobody's talked about.
No, I think it's
which is good. He's doing his job. Yeah.
Right.
He's quiet and he's doing his job. Like the only reason we knew who Blake Martinez and even AJ Hawk were, aside from they were known draft picks, is because they were, when they would make a bad play, which was frequently, we would hear about them. I don't want to hear about our middle linebacker. Do your job, and we'll be happy. That's fine. That's fine.
I can't wait for the day that the Packers have like a Pro Bowl middle linebacker, just someone that actually makes big plays, because we have not had that for a long time.
Jimmy, you and I touched on that last night. Right.
That's a long ass time ago.
Jimmy and I touched on it last night because we were picking an offensive and a defensive player, non-quarterback, to build a team around. And Fred Warner or Devin White popped up because they're young, fast middle linebackers. And then we realized, are we just picking these guys because we just love to imagine what it would be like to have an exciting middle linebacker? Like that, it just looks so cool when they have a good middle linebacker. We never do.
Yeah. I just feel like a kid, you're going over to your rich friend's house, and you see all those cool toys that they have, and you just know you never can afford that and never have that in your own house. That's what I feel like looking at other people's linebackers. One day.
Someday.
Someday.
Either way, it's not Ty Summers or Oren Burks. I know that. And I think that's what got me is like the amount of time that they've given those two to develop. We've seen the ceiling on both of those guys.
Yeah,
like I hate to use size against Ty Summers, but he's just not big enough to play middle linebacker in the NFL. He's shown that he can play some special teams. He can do some other stuff, but it seems like when he gets significant time at middle linebacker, he ends up getting hurt or just consistently getting bowled over. So there's that. And Oren Burks just seems like he goes in for 2 plays, makes a mistake, and then you don't see him until the next week. So I thought it was really interesting there too.
Yeah, my pay the tab is a fan favorite around these parts. J.K. Scott.
Let's go. Let's go. Pay up, JK.
Let's go, Nick. Where's our wonderful not the little picture. I want the big Mahosker right in front. Yeah, there he is.
So bad.
A 20-yard punt. A 20 flipping yard punt. I'm with you, Todd. I'm with you here. I'm at the point now where there has to be so many other people that can just kick the ball 40 yards down the field consistently every single time.
Yeah.
No? Like
yep.
every year there's another crop of 50 college punters coming out of the NFL, and it's not like they're competing for NFL jobs every single year. There's got to be some kid out there that's bagging groceries at Cops or something and can come in there and just kick the freaking ball. I'm at a loss now at this point anymore with J.K. Scott, especially now on top of when you are making all these moves like cutting Kamal Martin a year after you draft him. So that shows to me that this front office is done messing around. Yeah. Like we're not putting up with any more, well, let's see what they develop in the next couple of years. Let's see. We've seen what J.K. Scott is.
Yeah.
Why are we not working to improve him anymore? Marquette King is still out here on Twitter coffin punting from 50 yards out. He's not doing anything, guys. Sign his ass and let's get him in here.
The only thing I can think of is that there is some weird, strange, unspeakable bond between Mason Crosby and J.K. Scott with J.K. as the holder that Mason can only kick if it's J.K. holding it. And that's the only reason they're keeping him around, which if that's why he's on the team, great. As long as he never punts.
Right.
Let's go. Never punt.
Oh, make him, I don't know, turn him into something else. Like he can make him a gunner or something. He can do something else. Or put him, you know what?
Do you remember when he tried to tackle Dan? A gunner? Are you serious?
But all he has to do
seem very fast.
All he has to do is just get in front of people. At that,
he's not good at that either.
Make a tackle.
It's different. It's different. Hold on. Let me take this back. Here's what he needs to be.
A water boy?
A holder.
Yes.
A holder.
Put him on field goal coverage. How tall is he? Like he's what, 6'2", 6'3", something like that? No? Nick, look it up.
Block? No, you got to come from the edges.
You put him up in the middle.
You got to be fast and come from the edges.
Put him up in the middle. Put him up in the middle.
This is probably one of your worst
6'6". He's 6'6". Put his ass up in the middle and
to do what? Get pushed over?
No, start getting him on the box. Start getting him on the box jump.
Oh my God.
And start getting that leg and he jumps over. And then if you want, then he can hold kicks on the other end. That's fine.
All right, let's move on from this terrible take before I have an aneurysm.
Yeah.
Real quick before we move on to talking about roster moves and everything else, I want to look at this question that Fidel gave us there about the D-line depth. He's concerned about it. If something happens, one injury away from kind of having an issue at defensive line. How do you guys feel about where the defensive line is at right now?
I feel like that's always been the Packers' MO. They're always just one injury away from having a horrible defensive line. Like Kenny, we saw that when Kenny Clark went out last year. We had our edge rushers, obviously, but then we went I don't even know what face, but I'm sure it was a horrible one. Lowry, Lancaster, Kiki's like Kingsley's been in and out. Heflin this year could be one, but I see if he makes a team, I think that means Lancaster's out. But we need some. I feel like there has to be one more roster move. I know we just signed somebody today, but it kind of reminds me of Avery. We just signed him, ended up releasing him like 2 days ago. So I don't know. There has to be one more move there because I'm with you that depth there is. We're one injury away from having a not great offensive line be pretty shitty.
Yeah, I mean, we need obviously with Kenny Clark being there, that's fantastic, and I think you're looking at what Lowry, Kiki, and Slayton is probably your next three there. Yeah. The good news is that the step from there to a street free agent isn't that much different. So if somebody does get hurt, like Dean Lowry is not that much better than a guy off the street. Nor is Tyler Lancaster, nor is Helfin. It's just one of those things. Like, sure, obviously, if Kenny Clark gets hurt, then we're going to take a hit. But if anybody's top defensive lineman gets hurt, they're going to take a hit. It's concerning, but at the same time, depending on where that injury comes, if it's from somewhere in the middle, I think it's a replaceable person.
But isn't that just showing how bad our depth is?
Absolutely. No, I didn't say it was a strong suit. I'm just worried about the depth because the depth also includes street free agents that you can just find any time of the year.
No, it's basically like having like when your car starts making like a noise and it's just consistently there, and you're like, this is a problem. I know this is a problem, and it needs to get fixed. But instead of at a certain point, like it's been there for so long that you just sort of don't even pay attention to it anymore, and you just turn the music up a little bit. Yep. Like that's defensive line now. It's been an issue for a couple of years, and it's always been sort of that sort of Damocles hanging over our heads, just waiting to impale us with one key injury and ruining the defensive line.
Hold on, what was that?
What the sword of Damocles?
What is that?
I don't
Google that shit. Anyway,
just explain it to me. We're here.
Yeah, don't make me Google it.
Okay, so Damocles was an ancient ruler, and he basically told anybody in this kingdom that they could be king, but when they had to sit on the throne, and there was a sword that hung above them by a very thin thread, and it could break at literally any moment. And so it kind of represents just like the inherent danger in certain positions.
Okay. Where did you hear this?
I feel like that's a fairly. I feel like this is like Listerfiend the mouth troll. Known colloquialism. It was in The Simpsons, so I assume
it's got to be true. Okay, yeah.
Of course it's true. It's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
They got some smart cookies over there, The Simpsons.
To get back to this, do you think Geno Atkins is a real thing? I think it's one of those wet dreams that we have to really would like him on the defensive line. Just another big name that would just be great. He's this year's Snack Harris.
Exactly. Yeah. I think we're all pining for some kind of relief from defensive line, and I'm sure that there'll be something that
shout out Iowa Joe.
Yeah, Iowa Joe. He knows what's up. Let's step aside for a quick break. When we come back, we'll break down more of the roster moves the Packers made and also look ahead to Week 3. You are watching Lombardi's Bar.
When it's been a couple weeks now with no show, and I don't know about you, but I'm had some with withdrawal feelings going on.
So yeah, to be fair, we didn't color coordinate this.
Yeah, it's definitely stressing me out. I can tell you guys are listening to it a lot.
Yeah, we're wearing the same shirt. We're gonna say the same thing, finish each other's sentences.
You're the worst.
I'm just saying.
So are you offering to buy me a gift? I appreciate
I'm just letting you know where you can find one. Oh, he's frozen now. It wouldn't be open book if Zach didn't disappear for a little bit. Derek Carr actually going to the Packers.
That's the sensible. Wait, what?
Welcome back to Lombardi's Bar, everybody. Shout out Open Book. Make sure you check those guys out. Maybe not so much Eli anymore. Now he's a big shot NFL guy. Todd.
Jen, I know you're watching. Have you and the guys need to update that promo. It's starting every week with we haven't had a show in a couple of weeks. Drives me insane. There's been a show for like a month and a half for you guys now. Please update that. Please, for me.
We put in
for Dan. Don't do it for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't say for you, because then she would
don't
definitely
do it for
not
me.
do it.
Do it for Dan. Do it for
and
producer
Eli
Nick.
works for the NFL now. Let's put something in there about that, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. We put in the work every
We know that, Jen,
week,
but you've got a lot of pull over there.
making a new promo. Exactly, Jen. That show revolves around you.
Go back and watch the Freezer podcast on Monday. Let me tell you how a promo worked there. It worked perfectly to give them a nice, smooth segue into what they were talking about, which was my prediction that J.K. Scott was going to be trash. And he was.
I love that worked out. We were saying
out so
it was
perfectly.
it was so perfect. It was so perfect. The best part of their show, hands down.
But,
make sure you check out the
want to
Freezer
be a team
podcast
player.
every week, at least until you see our promo, best 30 minutes of the show.
Seconds.
Let's talk about these roster moves, guys. As we mentioned, a lot of shit went down this week. The big one being Kamal Martin just getting outright cut.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, we trading Josh Jackson, Kadar Holman, and then Will Redmond and Funches end up on the IR. Let's focus on the trades and the cuts, because for me, it's crazy that this defense is clearly the weaker of the two groups. Not that it's not a terrible defense. We've had and seen much worse. But it's clearly the weaker of the two. And to cut and move these guys around like this, I know you're not expecting them to be all-stars, but I'm just curious what the next step is, because if you're running this back with the same defense, that's okay. That's one thing. But now you're taking little bits out of it. I'm just wondering what steps up and what's going to take that place. What keeps it at least at that level?
I think with the trades with Jackson and Holman, like, you have the two people right away that you drafted. Like, Eric Stokes is going to be that third man unless he beats out Kevin King, who's going to have a Pro Bowl year, so obviously he's not going to.
Right.
And then Shamar John Charles takes over for Holman. But there's still that just unproven depth there, which is the problem. Granted, we're not really making – you can't really go down from Josh Jackson and Holman. So it's either it's going to stay the same, which sucks, or it's going to go up. And with having a first-round pick and Eric Stokes kind of taking over Josh Jackson's spot, like, it can really only go up from there. The big surprise out of anything to me is the Kamal Martin thing, cutting him. The trades make sense. The depth is unproven, but that'll come with time.
It's kind of surprising. Like, look, we're not in the locker room. We're not in the front office. So who knows what got done? But a guy coming into his second year,
healthy, finally
healthy, and showed flashes of something in year one, that there's not somebody out there that would say, I can get what was he, a third round pick, second round pick?
Kamal
was a fifth.
He was a fifth. Okay. I mean, even if you wanted to go straight up fifth, but like just a seventh, to take a seventh round pick on a flyer like that, just to see if you can turn him around or just see what's there. It just surprised me that you couldn't find anything for him. It just, I don't know. It just makes me think about, like, how much do we really know about what's going on with Kamal Martin?
Maybe his knee was worse than anyone thought, or like that we know.
Yeah.
Can I ask a really just out there question, a name that I haven't heard a lot, as much as we've been talking about the secondary? Is Shannon Sullivan still around?
Yeah, he's our starting nickel. So star position right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Which, I mean, if Kevin King's a Pro Bowler, and you've got Stokes, then that means that gives you more flexibility there with Alexander, which gives you more depth than with Shannon Sullivan. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's 4 corners right there that I'm not scared to trot out onto the field. You know, I don't see a problem with that. And then you've got, you know, a couple of guys behind them. I'm excited to see Vernon Scott kind of step up and play a lot more safety this year too. Yeah, I was just about to say that is, you know, thinking more about it when you brought up Shannon Sullivan, it kind of made me triggered that Vernon Scott thing. He's been looking great, and you know, there's the talk of him getting moved into kind of that hybrid middle linebacker rover kind of role, you know. So I guess maybe there, you know, it's this isn't business as usual for the Packers, you know, especially right now. Like we've seen years now of, you know, Mike Pettin and Dom Capers where it's, you know, the status quo is kind of accepted, and you know, there's really not much more. And I kind of mentioned that when I was talking about firing Mike Pettin in the middle of the season last year. You need something to kind of shake up the locker room a little bit. I think the Kamal Martin thing has to do that at least a little bit. At least for me, it does. Yeah, I mean, they might have looked at it and thought, you know what, we've got 4 middle linebackers here that we're comfortable with. And if it's going to get the rest of the defense and some more of this depth to really start showing out, maybe he was the most expendable. Maybe he had a shit attitude or had something else going on behind the scenes. And they thought, you know what, if we make the move on him, that's going to ring a lot of these other guys' heads and make them push a little bit and pay attention.
I think I really think it emphasized the special teams as well, because like that was a role for him, and he was not good on punt coverage or on kickoff coverage. Like he had some mental errors people were pointing out. And if you're not going to produce, and really what's going to be his main role with being behind Campbell and Barnes, then like we'll stick with the 2 guys that have proven to be useful in the special teams. Because right now, that's out of everything, special teams is a huge worry. We saw that in preseason with when they went down and scored, and then right away they give up a 70-yard kickoff return. So I don't know. I think that was just another message on like, this shit has to improve, or we're just going to get you out and try to get people in here that are going to make us not a laughing stock every time that we send our specials unit out there. Yeah, I mean, people talking about, you know, Jackson and Redmond being big, special teams players for us, and how do we fill those? Like again, this goes back to the defensive line depth. Our special teams was so bad that losing guys like that, you can find dudes on the street to do their job on special teams as well as they were. So, I mean, what's the worst case scenario? If your 53 is better with them than without them, you're going to have better players in that position, hopefully. Yeah. And if not, it can't get much worse.
No, we've seen that. All right, guys, we got week 3 coming up. Oh shoot, I can't remember who they're. Is it Buffalo? Yeah, in Buffalo. What are you most looking forward to in the week 3 game, last preseason game of the season, Jimmy? What you looking forward to?
Seeing the young cornerbacks work with John Charles, as we mentioned, Eric Stokes getting some time. We just traded for Isaac from the Giants. He played a little bit last year, number 24, or last week, number 24. So just seeing what they can do, earning their spots a little bit, and just showing that the moves we made, granted, we know those are the right moves. Getting rid of Jackson, getting rid of Holman, the right moves. We got stuff in return for it. But just seeing them kind of step up now and show that our secondary is going to be a strong suit. Because I really do think with the safeties and corners that we can have one of the best pass defenses in the NFL.
Yeah. We're not going to have to bring it up. You know, the broadcast is going to highlight it.
Yeah. And we already did that. So
yeah, and we did. You missed it. We
thanks for being on time
already. Jeez, Aaron. This is
I like what Iowa Joe suggests though. Roger sneaks Kumro back in a duffel bag.
Yeah. Dead or alive, either way.
Dead or alive. He just needs the DNA, because we know he's got some kind of, you know, secret underground lab that he'll just recreate Jake Kummerow. All he just needs the DNA. Just one lock of that beautiful, beautiful hair.
When you talk, I don't know what direction it's going in.
It scares me.
Like I felt that way with Todd, and now I know where it's going. Just something weird for you, or for sarcastic for him. For you, it's weird. I don't know. MASH, some dude with a sword dying.
It's a beautiful mystery.
Beautiful. Yeah. Throw quotes on that.
By the way, Nick put the History Channel doc about the Sword of Damocles. Look it up and learn about it, you Philistines. Todd, what are you looking forward to this week?
Fuck did you just call me?
A Philistine.
What the hell is that?
Google it.
Oh my God. I'm not here for a history lesson. Are you kidding me? I'm excited to watch the running backs this week. Kylan Hill has been electric this preseason. I think he's positioned himself well to be the number 3 on this team. Looking to see what Dexter Williams and Patrick Taylor can do. Has Dexter Williams' career, kind of like EQ, has it run its course in Green Bay? Is he on his way out? Can Patrick Taylor show something this week to be willing to have the team stick around? It'd be interesting to see. And I think both of those guys would make decent special teams players. So where they're at right now, it might make sense for them to be there. Also, I'm wondering if we can't drop off one and or both of them, if we leave them in Buffalo and we can bring Jake Kummerow back with the team. I'm trying to just think outside the box.
What if Aaron Rodgers pulls a Lane Kiffin where they're getting to the plane and he pulls him aside and just says, like, you're staying here. Like, don't even bother getting on the plane. And in the background behind him, you see Jake Kummerow with his bag climbing the stairs.
I'd much rather see Rodgers just refuse to get on the bus until Jake can come on too. Just full out tantrum. Like, no, I won't get on.
John, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
No, he's just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of
here we go, Dan. Hold on.
Okay.
Scenario. Okay. Rodgers wants to throw to Kummerow, right? Rodgers has seemed like he might be unhappy in Green Bay. What if we leave Love and Rodgers in Buffalo? We bring Josh Allen and old Mitchie number 10 Trubisky back.
I'd take it.
Who says no?
Only if it also comes with a literally a duffel bag full of Buffalo Bills dildos.
What?
Again, I don't know where you're going when you say some of this shit. I'm not even
How many times this past year? It's a joke. How many times have you seen the Buffalo Bills fans throw actual marital aids onto the field? It's been multiple.
Dan, the newly married man talking about marital aids. Wow. How's married life going, Dan?
Okay.
I am looking forward to watching the wide receivers this week. Because with Devin Funchess gone, who steps up? Who takes that role? And do we see anyone? 0 times, Jen, you're full of it. You've not been paying attention. It's been at least multiple times.
No. That's the first time I've ever agreed with Jen.
Other than the time that they threw one on the field against the Patriots in 2019?
It's happened twice since then. It has happened since then.
Maybe you've been watching too much History Channel, Dan.
Yeah. Dan just is actually playing the same clip every Sunday of just that one dildo going on the field. Like, oh, see, it happened again.
Kelsey just has it locked in the DVR, and she's like,
she just records one week of NFL Red Zone and just puts that on for me every single week.
And Dad's just like a kid that just sits there glued to the TV for 6 hours. He's like, and I run There's a dildo on the field.
Honey, the Packers won again. Oh, sweetie, that's so nice. I'm so happy for you.
Oh my gosh.
You want to get to a drunk tweet of the week?
Let's do it.
All right. This came from Todd. Todd, I'll let you take the lead on this one because I think it's the first time you suggested a drunk tweet of the week. So have at it, buddy. Let Kyle Brandt know.
Yeah, I and this one isn't bagging on Justin Fields. I know I've been really good at that so far this year because it's fun and it's easy. But this has more or less to do with the awful take from Kyle Brandt here, stating that, there's no hiding from players in the NFL. Donald is different, but Fields has seen great talents before. Justin Fields has never lined up and taken a regular season snap against anybody that has played in the NFL. And Aaron Donald is one of the best to ever play in the NFL. So when you say that Justin Fields has seen some great talents before, nothing that's even in the same realm as what Aaron Donald is. So it makes absolutely no sense at all. It baffles me. That's like, well, this guy's drank water before, and somebody being like, yeah, no, he'll be fine with the 151. He's drank stuff before. Just pour him a glass. Like, light it on fire. He's fine. It makes absolutely no sense.
It is. I don't get it. And especially with that defense or that offensive line, with Jenkins is out now. They're relying on a fucking 40-year-old Jason Peters to be a top person on that line. Like, don't put Justin Fields out there. If he is your future and you're going against the insane man that trains with knives and then the dude 2 weeks later that hits people in the head with the helmet, just let him wait a little bit and then get him on towards the end of the season. You guys aren't going to be a playoff team. You're not a Super Bowl contender. Don't fucking kill your what's supposed to be franchise quarterback.
Well, and that's what I love with the way that Nagy has been going about this for the last couple of years is he thinks that like their win totals matter right now, which they don't. It's about developing what they have. And so a season like last year where he kept going back and forth with Foles and Trubisky, and you were like, this is doing nobody any favors. And I just feel like they're setting themselves up to do that again this year where they're going to start Dalton. And at some point, Fields is going to get in there. And if he has a couple of bad games, a 3-pick game, or it gets dinged up a little bit and Dalton comes back in, like it's just going to go back and forth again. And I am here for it. I am so excited to watch that shit show just burn again.
Do you think he does what Flores did and he'll play Justin Fields until like the last 3 minutes of the game and then take him out to put Dalton back in? Now that he has the Fitzmagic beard, he might as well just do that game plan.
Yeah. Not a bad call.
I do love that the flip side, because I agree with you. If Justin Fields Justin Fields is ready to play in the NFL probably, but you don't have to throw him to the Wolves just yet. But I love that the flip side of that is like why would we throw Justin Fields in front of Aaron Donald? Just throw freaking Andy Dalton in there. Like, let him get killed. I love that that is the opposite side of that take. It's just like, why are we killing Justin Fields? We have literally a guy that we paid millions of dollars to get a concussion. Why aren't we just using him?
For Justin Fields to live, someone has to die. And it just happens to be Andy Dalton.
Exactly. Yeah. We brought it up last week. And remember that hit that Dalton took last year when he was sliding against the Washington football team?
Mm-hmm. And just no one reacted.
He could take a hit. Yeah, his team was all over that.
Yeah.
They clearly cared about him.
Boys to Men, one of my go-to karaoke songs, and so I can definitely make that happen. My people get with your people on Patreon. Let's get to bar bets here real quick for our week 3 preseason game. The first one, let's get this one out of the way first. Jordan Love, does he throw a touchdown this week in the game? It depends really on how much he plays, right?
Yes, 5 Bakhtiaris. He's been practicing today. He's going to play this week. He had to sit out last week. Didn't practice last week. Didn't play last week. Finally getting involved. They're going to want to see all they can out of him. Having missed last week. So I said missed last week probably about 5 times. So if you didn't know, Jordan Love did not play last week. So yeah, I think so. They're going to give him extended time. I could see him playing 3 quarters and maybe even into the 4th before they put Bankert in there.
Wow. All right. Todd?
I was just looking here, and I see he threw one in week 1. I don't see that he threw a pass last week. Did he play last week?
Oh, you don't know. He missed it. He missed last week. Yeah.
So he missed last week. Got
It's
it.
really kept on the DL.
Yeah. Okay.
I forgot to mention that last time.
Okay. Yeah, I was confused there. I'm going to say yes for all of the reasons that Jimmy said, except the fact that he missed last week. I don't think that'll come into play at all of him throwing a touchdown pass this week. I think missing last week will bear no mind to this game.
I meant that as they're going to play him more because he was absent.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I got it. Nope.
Okay.
But still, he missed last week. He's gonna 5 Bakhtiaris. He's gonna throw a touchdown this week.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think yes, he does throw a touchdown this week. I'm just gonna go 4 just because I don't know how much he actually plays. You know, I wonder just I'm curious how kind of cautious they approach this whole the injury that flared up, you know, as we said, breaking the news. Jordan Love didn't play last week because of the injury.
Yeah, he missed it.
So, you know, I wonder how, you know, how cautious they want to be. They were very clearly fine letting Kurt Benkert take almost literally the entire game last week. So, you know, who knows if how much they do. So I'm just hedging my bet a little bit, but I do agree. I think that he does. Speaking of Kurt Benkert, there's been a lot of talk about him, the 3 quarterbacks on the roster, as we're getting closer now, 1 week away from the 53-man roster. Does Kurt Benkert make that roster cut? Do we keep 3 quarterbacks, Todd?
I'm going to say no. If he does, the bet's still on. He can cut my hair. But 5 Bakhtiaris, no, I don't think he's going to. There's too many other areas of need. You know, we've talked about the importance of having guys on special teams. That's an area that's kind of thin right now. I don't see a reason to keep 3 quarterbacks around.
Jimmy?
Yeah. I'm going, as much as I'd hate to see it, I think he makes our practice squad. I don't think a team will pick him up. I think teams will be more interested in possibly trading for a Minshew than picking up Benkert. So I'm going to go with, no. Also, be as confident as Todd and go 5 Bakhtiaris. It will suck. People be bummed, but we have too many areas of need, especially the defensive line that we just mentioned. Todd could come off the street and play just as well. So there's too many problems.
True that.
I'm gonna do the most cop-out thing in the world.
You're gonna say 1, yes.
Where I'm gonna say one Bakhtiari. Yes, he does. I think
wow.
Hold on.
Too much confidence in what you're saying now.
I think that there is like some sneaky thing sitting here where Kurt Benkert becomes Taysom Hill 2.0, where the Packers organization, I think to some
Producer
extent,
Nick, mute this man. He's not.
I think they had
sense.
some. Hold on. Maybe not exactly what Taysom Hill is. Let just hear me out.
Is he our Skip Bayless? Is Dan our Skip Bayless?
We think that Kurt Benkert might be good enough to almost maybe beat out Jameis Winston.
No, I'm not. He could. I think Kurt Benkert could potentially beat out Jameis Winston. Listen, all I'm saying is I think that if they were able to find a way to keep Kurt Benkert on this roster in a position where he's not just backing up Jordan Love, backing up Aaron Rodgers, I think that they would really like to do it because I think that they really like Kurt. I think that they also know that I don't think there's that good of a chance that he clears it and makes it to the practice squad. I think he ends up somewhere else.
I think we just have an overfatuation with
maybe I'm hypnotized by the beautiful human specimen that is Kurt Benkert. Maybe I am.
And other teams are also very interested in getting their players on their practice squad and taking care of that. Like, I don't think they're worried about the Packers' 3rd quarterback on the depth chart right now.
No, Jimmy, that's complete bullshit. Everyone knows that the Packers are the center of the football universe, and everyone is watching us with a microscope, waiting for one slip up.
When you put it that way.
Bill Belichick is sitting there. He is lying in bed right now, staring at the wall and just being like, what's Brian Gutekunst's number again? Because I really just need to be the first person on the line when they let him go. I need to be the first person to call Kurt.
Fair enough. And I hate producer Nick for saying Tom Brady is the center of the NFL universe.
Okay, Nick,
while you're not doing anything important, can you look up the spread for this week's game so Dan doesn't give it a -20 Packer favorite?
Yeah. I was just gonna go money line and just do the Packers win at all. I'll do that. All right, do the Packers win this week, Jimmy?
No, we don't give a shit about preseason. They have the second coming of Christ, Mitch Trubisky, on their team. That's going to get a lot of snaps. No, I think we're going to try out some new things. I don't know. It's our backups of the backups really playing this game. We've already had 30 plus sit out the first couple games. I could see that number going up for this last one. No reason to risk injury. Preseason doesn't matter. I don't think so. I think we'll lose. Doesn't really. Who cares? Oh yeah, sorry. Five. Just to piss Todd off. Give me 4. Give me 4. 4 Bakhtiaris just to fuck with Todd.
That's fine.
There we go.
Fuck away.
Although I really like how that works. Nick, give me a little bit of down and up the spectrum again here. I really like how that really looks nice. I like how that plays out really well. I like that. All right, Todd.
Dan's got a fucking shiny object on. Yeah. Push it. Make it go again. I'll bring it back. Oh, I'll do it again. I'm going to go 5 Bakhtiaris. They're going to lose. Like Jimmy said, we don't care. We're more interested in seeing what these guys have in certain situations, setting the table for them, making them kind of work through the progressions of what they're trying to do. It's not so much about winning and losing as it is getting these guys experience and seeing them produce at game speed. So, also, Buffalo put up 45 points last week, and I've been told that Bears defense is really good. So it's just I don't know that there's a chance we can slow them down.
Todd, I'll agree with you. 5 Bakhtiaris, no. This team doesn't. They, like you said, they don't care about the preseason. This is literally just Jesus Christ. literally just a glorified practice. I know it's all glorified practice, but this is literally just throw all these players out there and see if anybody makes a play enough to stick around on the team, on the roster. Christ. Man. Thank you, Nick. Guys, let's wrap this shit show up. Let people know where they can find you and what you got to promote, Jimmy.
Follow me on Twitter, Jimmy_C08. You can catch me here every Wednesday, Lombardi's Bar, Game On Wisconsin. Article coming up for Game On Fridays. Articles are coming out for Packer Report coming up. Every Tuesday, you can hear Todd, Aaron, and myself on Brand and Off Topic. Follow us on Twitter, On Brand Off Topic. There's a Patreon if you want to pay us for some weird fucking reason. Also, some exclusive content that we'll be sharing. Maybe some OnlyFans. Maybe some
OnlyFans stuff. They went back on their ban. Sexually explicit content is back. Your boy is broke again. No money in the bank account.
Oh gosh. On that note, Todd, tell us where to find you and who to follow on OnlyFans.
Yeah. So you can find me at the Todd V. Nick, please take that off so the nice people watching can read. At the Todd V. Go ahead and give me a follow there. Keep up to date with everything I got going on. Like Jimmy said, Tuesdays, On Brand and Off Topic comes out on what's today? Wednesday. I'm here with you knuckleheads. Mondays and Fridays, I will be talking Brewers and other things baseball over at Walking Off Podcast. Give us a follow there at Walking Off Pod. Also, all of those things have YouTubes. Go follow, do all those things so that eventually I could pay for some of this and stop recording in my mom's basement.
Smart. Yeah. Subscribe to Game, especially because we're closest to 1,000. Get us.
Yeah. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And also remember, you can support us financially if you so choose over on our Twitter page. Go check it out. The link tree there will lead you right to where you can subscribe to us and just throw us a couple bucks, say that you love what we're doing over here. So hope you check that out. Follow us on Twitter as well. At Lombardi's Bar. Is it Lombardi's Bar or Lombardi's Bar Pod? Todd, you're the.
Please hold.
Jesus.
I haven't been on that one in a while. Jesus, I haven't. Here we go. At Lombardi's Bar.
Radio. At Lombardi's Bar.
Well, don't put me on the effing spot then, Dan.
Yeah, the effing spot.
Jimmy, shut the
John,
fuck up.
It's pinned on the Game On Wisconsin Twitter at Game On WI. Follow us over there as well. You can follow me at DK All the Way. I've got this here every Wednesday with these jackasses. I've got Friday article for Game On Wisconsin as well. And then every other Tuesday on the Pack-A-Day podcast. So this Tuesday coming up with Janelle Mack and Eli Berkovitz.
Once again, Dan has lied to you. It is not pinned to the Twitter. It is in the link tree, however.
All right, there you go. Check out the link tree. For producer Nick, for Jimmy Christensen, for Todd Varney, I'm Dan Connick, the bartender, saying cheers, everybody. And until next week, go Pack, go.